Welcome to North Minneapolis. My name is Adair Mosley, and I have the privilege and honor of serving as the president and CEO of Pillsbury United Communities. Pillsbury United Communities has had a long, rich relationship with the North Minneapolis community over the decades. And we see ourselves as community builders, whether we use arts and culture to do that or whether we do place-based development like a grocery store. We've had several neighborhood centers. There's been several organizations that have emerged out of Pillsbury United Communities, building on the assets that are in this community already. The North Minneapolis community has been extremely a resilient people, but it is not without the negative consequences of institutional and systemic racism. As an organization, we are doubling down and believe that our most bold and ambitious work needs to be right here. That this is the catalyst for change, and a thriving North Minneapolis means a thriving Minneapolis and a thriving Minnesota. Systemic racism and oppressive policies have had a huge effect on the residents of North Minneapolis and really prohibited individuals from having that thriving life. It's things like redlining that happened in the early 50s and racial covenants of policies that have categorically disenfranchised the residents in this community. And that's why today we're seeing some of the largest health disparities. We're seeing some of the worst educational outcomes for Black and brown students. We're seeing home ownership rates at a quarter of their white counterparts. But despite all of that, you continue to have individuals who are trying to make a way out of no way. We are on Plymouth Avenue in North Minneapolis. Plymouth Avenue, which once had many businesses along the corridor here, saw civil unrest in the 60s. I believe that many people have written a narrative about North Minneapolis that has resulted in it not having the level of investment that it needs. Because of that external narrative and just an overall disinvestment in community, we haven't seen the rebound or the resiliency through our systems and infrastructure, our businesses come back at the speed in which many would want for this community. Following the murder of George Floyd and the civil unrest that our city encountered, what we saw was already vulnerable communities, the problem being exacerbated, and a level of vulnerability because there has been a lack of investment, particularly in this community, as it relates to economic development, as it relates to growing Black and brown businesses. Pillsbury United Communities has had a long-standing and rich history of entrepreneurial and innovative work throughout our history. I think at the core of why North Market is here is because it's restored the dignity of a community that has been denied a basic asset, which is a grocery store. The genesis of every solution is starting with community and asking community that basic question of what do you need? But we know that in order to bring things like North Market to fruition, that we have to have the kind of cross-sector partnership that is going to get us really catalytic and transformative solutions in community. And North Market is a great example of that, where our health systems, the private sector, SuperValue in particular, and this community-based organization, Pillsbury United Communities, coming together to create this entity where we're blending both the health needs of a community, cardiovascular disease, diabetes prevention, but also wellness classes, cooking and food demonstrations. So it's a combination of all of those things coming together to create this magnificent and wonderful asset here in North Minneapolis. This is a place that many call home, including myself. This is the place we have decided that we are going to double down on as an organization to make sure it gets the investment that it has been long denied. What needs to come from that is big, bold, transformative solutions. So whatever we propose can't be incremental. It has to be transformative that lifts the individuals and families here up and out of poverty and up the social and economic mobility ladder. What it will take is transformative investment. And this is both the financial investment and also an investment in people, an investment in infrastructure. And then on top of that, changing the oppressive systems and policies that continue to be barriers to prosperity for the individuals living in this community. We are certainly, as an organization, meeting the acute needs of communities through basic foods, through youth programming, through family stabilization. But that alone is not enough. This is about aligning institutions and individuals in community around a shared vision. It's areas like this that we can put a community-centered design approach to of revitalizing. We can ask the community, what do you want to see in areas that have had disinvestment, and then being able to find the partners to strategically bring those visions to fruition. One of the core tenets of justice-built communities is land acquisition. We know that if we don't acquire the land today, that we run the risk of displacement and gentrification. So our goal is to be able to bridge that ownership to Black and brown individuals right here in North Minneapolis and throughout the city of Minneapolis. At its core, it's an economic development enterprise that's focused on closing that wealth gap and making sure that we can put economic prosperity in the hands of all those that aspire and want it. With the right level of investment, I believe with the right level of partnership and the right level of community centered, their voices centered in the process, that we can achieve a more equitable and just place in the next decade. We've seen it in other communities. We've seen it in communities that have had investment happen in it. We've seen place transform in a very short period of time. So we know it is possible. And so our goal is ultimately to usher that possibility into a community that has long and systemically been denied it, and tapping into the aspirations of community to make sure that all those that live and labor there can flourish.